Sunday night because that's why we're here, right? The NFL Sunday night football. It was a tremendous game. From if you weren't a Ravens fan, obviously. So I think a lot of people I heard say these are the two best teams in the National Football League, and I have no problem with that. But the Sunday night game, we just saw it, and do you see the score there? 41-40. Bills miraculously pulled out. Ravens did a good job in this one of pulling defeat out of the jaws of victory. Like in this one, there's just no other way to say it. Let's go over the stat sheet here. I don't want to hear anybody say the loss is game because of Lamar. There's no such animal. Lamar was terrific in this game. I thought the line was subpar against a good Buffalo defense as well. And I do think Lamar was great in this. Not a huge day passing wise, but you see it 14 for 19, 209 yards, 2 TDs, 70 rushing yards. One rush was unbelievable. Two guys were chasing him, should have been sacked. He real Houdini act to go ahead and get away from that, getting a long run with that, getting a TD run also in the game. Lamar was terrific. But one of the best games, I'm going to say it, I think maybe one of the best games he ever played in the loss. Derrick Henry, incredible on the ground. Ravens had over 200 yards rushing on the ground. Derrick Henry, 18 for 169, 2 TDs. Obviously, we know the costly fumble late in the game. Derrick Henry never fumbles. They say he fumbled last year in Pittsburgh. I almost don't even remember that. I haven't seen it often where Derrick Henry has fumbled. But they stacked that box. He had 10 in the box when he ran that football. So they really, really, really pounded him in and ran the football 10 in the box to go ahead and do that as well. So definitely Henry, interesting. I'm kind of leaning toward he's entitled to one, like as great as he's been for it. Zay Flowers is like leading the NFL in receptions and receiving yards. 7 receptions, 143, 2 huge catches. I think that got the Ravens in the end zone as well. Really has emerged as their number one guy as far as receiver. We waited for so many years to get a number one receivers. He's just so quick. He's a good route runner too. He's not tall. That's the only knock on his game. Not really tall, but he really separates very well, runs past people as well. Strong on the line of scrimmage as well. He's not a guy where you can really, even though he's not a real big, tall receiver, you can't really push him off the line of scrimmage very well. He does very good with that. Outstanding. Some mixed opinion on Roquan's performance. I thought Roquan was decent as well. He did. I think people are saying that because he had the one missed tackle in this one that was bad, like where he was trying to swipe the ball out. And I think it was James Cook. He was able to go ahead, run up the field, and after he missed the tackle, so that wasn't good. But Roquan was fine. I think Roquan had 10 tackles. I think that's what you want from him. Defense overall, it was good for 3+ quarters. You are playing an outstanding quarterback, outstanding offense as well. The stats, I think, are a little misleading. It's not as bad as it looked, but that fourth quarter was a misleading. Right? So that's the stats, and that's the stat line that you deserve because you didn't handle business in the fourth quarter at all. Josh Allen was terrific. A lot of it was late in the fourth quarter, over 200 yards passing in the final minutes, which was wild. 394, 2 TDs, 33 for 46. Much better protected than Baltimore was in this football game. It certainly was. The stat line, I watched it on Nightcap, and Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson were talking about this. So Josh Allen had 46 passes. He was sacked 1 time during the game by Justin Matabuke. And Lamar Jackson, you just saw it. He had 19 passes. He was sacked 2 different times. He had pressure all night long, and he should have had a third if he hadn't gotten away with the great Houdini act and was able to get away physically. So the Buffalo Bills line compared to what the Ravens are putting out, it's a big difference as well. They didn't really run the ball that much in this one. Some of that was the Ravens had a lead in a lot of this game. James Cook, 13 carries for 44 yards as well. Josh Allen didn't have a big night running the ball. Keon Coleman's getting better right before us. The Shakir is their number one guy. They did go get Jordan Palmer, but he had 8 receptions, 122. He's who they were going to in the key situations, and he's kind of their guy, I think, from when I can see, catches in traffic, catches with defenders on them as well. So I thought Coleman was good. I gotta say, Ravens secondary did play well. Some of that was the prevent defense that prevents you from winning, but they didn't. That's not good enough. That's not going to work. That secondary wasn't good enough. Buffalo does have some good receivers as well, but that didn't work for me in the second half. Ed Oliver, 6 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. Let's talk about Oliver first because he's fantastic. I think Ed Oliver is very underrated around the league. Every time I see Ed Oliver, he's causing havoc. He's very consistent. He's not a fabulous pass rusher, particularly, but I think he's good in this game. But I don't think that's kind of why I think he gets overlooked. Ed Oliver is an outstanding defensive tackle. Now, all that being said, Faalele was horrible. I don't know what to say. Ed Oliver was doing the same thing Chris Jones was doing, same thing Max Crosby was doing, just picking him out on the offensive line and just pushing him over as well. You have to consider making a change at right guard. I've been saying this for I don't know why people are just like waking up to this. Faalele has been struggling. And one other thing on Faalele here, so talking about that, but I'm going to say this. I said this before the game. Why I thought this before the game. Pat Ricard missed this game with a calf injury. And I said that's going to factor in because that's what they were doing to mask the Faalele issues. You had Ricard over there on his side when you need to run over on his side to go ahead and help him. They didn't have Ricard in this game. They didn't have Isaiah Likely in this game. They kind of had Kolar and Andrews blocking more. It kind of took away. You got to consider somebody else. You got to consider somebody else in this as well. So there is the bad news final, 41-40 as well. So Ravens over the Bills. Look, you snatch defeat. You snatched away, how do you say it? The old Wild World of Sports trope, the agony of defeat. That's what that was. You're a better football team. You have better personnel. You played better for 3 quarters. You were executing your game plan, and somehow you find a way to lose a game. I mentioned last night in the open mic, I thought about the Browns in the 1980s, 87, 88. 2 of the best teams nobody ever talks about. They almost went to the AFC. They went to the AFC Championship game 2 different years. Nearly went to the Super Bowl 1 year. You go ahead. They lose. Ernest Biner on the 1-yard line fumbles. Broncos actually win. Go back next year. They go get the same scenario. They go back to the AFC Championship game. John Elway drives down and gets it squared away and actually wins. I may be mixing the years up, but I think those were the 2 events there as well. I will say this is what you're trending towards if you're the Ravens. When you're in games like this, you're trending towards losing these games because you're not finishing the job. Close it down. Close it down. Finish the jobs. Stop being so conservative. All the fire Harbaugh, they're not going to fire Harbaugh. I can tell you this. I totally understand the fans on this because he is the common denominator. We've seen this with John Harbaugh now the last couple of years with him getting conservative late in games and the team to the point where the team comes all the way back and you're looking at a loss. So there you go. Ravens 41, Bills 41, Bills 40. We got a game. The home opener is this week. So we got the Ravens and the Browns in the home opener this week.
You don't need to do your face. You need to do your body too.
Get that cord in a second. But the Ravens and the Browns in the home opener this week. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So this is Joe Flacco, our guy, Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Ravens. The last time Ravens won the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco was the quarterback at the helm. He is starting for the Browns. I believe this is his first time starting in Baltimore since he left. That's what the numbers is for him for the season. 290 as far as passing, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. That 2 interceptions is misleading. One of them was just totally not his fault. Ball bounced out the hand of the guy, and then the ball bounced out. The defender caught it, etc. So Flacco, I thought overall was decent enough week 1, especially going against Joe Burrow. But I think that was the thing that happened. They didn't really run the ball well. Jerome Ford is kind of their main guy, should be the main guy. They're still waiting on Quinshon Jenkins, who signed finally from Ohio State, but not ready to go yet. Ford is going to be their starter. Nick Chubb is gone, so he's going to go ahead and start for them. He only had 8 yards last week. Number 1 receiver is Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy, 5 receptions, 66 yards in the game. So this is their main weapon. They do not have a great, in my opinion, receiving core. I think they prefer to run the ball. They like to get one of their running backs going, etc. In this one. But Jeudy is kind of their main guy. You should see a lot of Nate Wiggins and Jair Alexander on him in that one. So we'll go ahead and check that out. And obviously, if he's not the best defender in the league, I don't know if he wins Defensive Player of the Year this year, but certainly there's not really a debate if Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the NFL. He's one of the best, if he's not the best defensive player in the NFL. Myles Garrett gives the Ravens fits. I'm terrified what they're going to do if you keep playing Falele again. I'm trying to get off him, but that was just so bad as well. So they're going to have to figure out Myles Garrett if you're going to win. This is probably your biggest concern. Lamar, we saw it, 209, 2 TDs, 70 yards, 1 TD rush. Lamar was great. I thought Lamar was outstanding in the first game as well. 70 yards rushing, 1 TD rushing, 1 TD rushing as well. So that was terrific for Lamar. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 169, 2 TDs as well. So they ran the ball well. They're going to run the ball. The Ravens are not going to have any problems running the football with Derrick Henry back there. Once again, the stat here you want to pick out, 18 carries and not 20. Whenever he gets 20 carries, they win. Every time. He got 18 carries. Also, too interesting, no Keaton Mitchell in the last game. You saw Ali. I don't know why you're carrying 4 anyway, but they're carrying 4 backs. I thought it was interesting that they went with Keaton Mitchell. They went with Rashaan Ali, probably because of the kickoff return and the special teams, and they just didn't have as big a role for Keaton Mitchell. You got to use Keaton Mitchell to run the football. But this game, for sure, you want to go ahead and run the football. Zay Flowers, I thought, is one of the leaders in the entire NFL in receiving yards. They've got their alpha in there as far as your receivers go. Definitely the best on the field. Roquan, again, mixed opinions on how he played. I thought he was fine. I think he missed that tackle. That was terrible. But Roquan, I think also to the other linebacker situation is starting to, Trent Simpson had some issues in that. They did have a lot of Teddy Buchanan in there as well. Malachi Starks, although he's been solid, he's a rookie. I think some of that is factoring into the perception of, okay, well, he's been having some issues as well. X Factor in this one. Pat Ricard, I don't know if you'll have him. They have to have him. Because Miles Garrett. I'm telling you, that factors in. I won't go into it again, but that factors in. I'm not sure he's going to have him in the calf injury. He did miss practice today, along with Matabuke as well. But the run game, they definitely missed Project Pat in this last game as well. And we just talked about Roquan. Trent Simpson, terrible, awful mistake that he made. And this one, just give him 20 yards, downing the ball in special teams. Trenton can't seem to put it together in a consistent basis. I see, like, with him, he'll step forward 2 steps, and then he'll step back 2 steps. And then I kind of see that with Trenton a little bit. He kind of is a little bit forward, and he'll go back a little bit here. So like to see a little bit more consistency with Trent Simpson as well in this one. I do think Ravens do win this football game pretty handily, though. I think they win it by 2 touchdowns. If I was going to put a score, it'd be like 21-7 or something. I'm pretty sure with Joe Flacco, especially, they're not going to pass for a lot of yards. I think there'll be opportunity. They're kind of looking at this opportunity where they're not going to get torched with 300 plus yards in the air as well. Secondary, Jairus Allen didn't look right, though. I will say that. Jairus Allen, he didn't look right. So I definitely think that's a thing as well. There's definitely depth in the secondary, Rouzier, et cetera, like that, but more concerned about that Jaire Alexander. As the Ravens and the Browns go ahead and get down for the home opener in M&T Bank Sunday at 1 o'clock. There you go. All right. So Ravens and Browns try to play like that. The loser will be in last place because the Ravens actually did lose last week. Browns lost last week also in division. So this would be 2 division losses